What are the military risks of an Israeli ground offensive in Gaza? The Israeli army says it's ready for the next stage of its war on the Strip, and it's massing hundreds of thousands of troops. But what does Israel stand to gain from an incursion into the territory? This is Inside Story.
This is a story that's currently gleaning headlines. News media is reporting it everywhere. And it is a big show of how things in the past can affect the present. Poor leadership, the military-industrial complex, how much this plays into this. Just people not understanding, and also the way of people thinking. A lot of people think that you have to be on one side. You have to be the pro-Palestine or pro-Israel on it. But if you look in there, it's just a big thing where people in power control and use people as pawns. And it just shows how some people just like controlling people and use people for their own benefit. The first thing I just want to touch on is the biggest thing, is that within this war, and it's something I want to watch in this video, something that you're going to see. I'm going to play the clip real quick. Give me 1 second.
Yahoo says it's only the...
Stop. If you look in there, one thing that you can notice is that all the military personnel have on is gear. That gear has to be paid for. Those guns have to make sure that they are working. If they need to be new, they need to be maintenanced. Also, they need ammunition. All that costs money. So a lot of money on either side that you're on is being made. Another example is you see here, I got an aircraft carrier is there. This aircraft carrier may have already been deployed to the area. At least one of them may have been, but now you have two there. That's even more money being spent. That's going to have to be recouped. I would kind of say when it comes to the Navy, because we do patrol the coast of the world, keeping piracy down and just being a deterrent. So it may not actually be a cost because the ships would have been moving anyway. And it goes back to something else too. So the biggest thing is money. Defense contractors are going to make a lot of money as well. And we also have a lot of destruction that's going in. Possibly if these places need to be rebuilt, money is to be made there. The biggest of all of this has to be done is behind money. Money is to be made. You have leadership, people in power using it. Even if I would say in some case President Netanyahu is happy this happened. Even he is pro-Israel, and in some sense there are reports that Egypt stated that something was going to happen and they just let it happen. Main thing is there's a lot of surveillance on the Gaza Strip, and for that just to happen, and they said they were surprised. Oh my God, this happened. We can't believe it. This will actually help him. Because I think at the end he wanted to basically close out Gaza. It does need to be closed out, but it could have been done in a different way. And that's why I say people think you got to be on one side or the other side. But no, it just a solution needs to be made. The people of Gaza have been used as guinea pigs for long, like 40, 50 years. This has been going on for a long time. It's been going on so long that Israel started using them as to practice on their defense. Not just Israel, the United States and other people, like surveillance, testing security measures, how to control people, what is effective on people. They actually use this issue of the Gaza Strip to test security measures on what works and not, and sell it throughout the world. How to track people, how to do all of that. So there's money to be made there. It is actually documentaries on that. It's not necessarily negative on Jews. It just shows what is actually happened. It's a little bit that I have known because I watch a lot of documentaries. The best way to truly know is to actually be there, which is very difficult. But I would say the biggest thing that needs to happen is basically it needs to end. The Gaza Strip does need to go. All the people do need to be removed from there. Hopefully not by force and not via death, but to or just have them relocated. There are a lot of people that say they are pro-Israel, and I would say the safest and the best thing for Israel is for the Palestinian people to be removed from the Gaza Strip. Hopefully peacefully moved, or if not forcefully moved, because it's those that said that they will not go. And as you can see through the destruction, it is going to happen. There are a lot of countries that can take them where they speak Arabic and would be easily be able to take the people And it just costs the cost. Like the country of Lebanon is currently having economic issues. There's enough people of Jewish and people that back Jerusalem that can pay to easily rehouse these people. Currently, they spend billions of dollars on defense in the defense of this, when that billions of dollars could be just simply to relocate it. But they always say there's a problem. The biggest thing is that there are people that don't want this to happen. There are people that benefit from this. They benefit from this. The constant war. It's a lot of money to be made. Lebanon currently has an economic problem. They can use money, and it's a perfect opportunity. You move all the people from Gaza into Lebanon. Not all at once. You don't move 2 million people into one location at one time, but slowly moving people over a year. You can move a certain group of people, but it's not only just Lebanon, but because, I mean, there's already Palestinians there, but you also have Jordan, who already have Palestinians there. If they would actually put the money into development, it can work. And it also, just where I was just talking about with development, it also goes into society. There's always money for war. And there's 2 reasons for that. First reason why there's always money for war, because war is very profitable for politicians and for defense contractors. And also, in the case of the United States and Israel, you get a good chance to test to see if your weapons really work, if your soldiers are being properly trained. One caveat from the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, it provided a lot of intel to the U.S. military on how to fight certain world wars, what weapons work, what certain weapons weren't. And that's kind of what Afghanistan really came for. It was a big training exercise in real life, where people realized, could we fight battles on 2 fronts, which we could. A lot of people think we lost the Afghan and Iraq war. No, we didn't. There were things we could have done to one, but just like in Vietnam, they were not allowed to, because the goal of some wars, people think it's to win. No, it's not to win. It's just to fight it, to test your army, to see how strong, and also just to see where it is. We have weapons and ideologies of how to use certain weapons that could easily wipe out an entire army in the United States. And I'm not talking about nuclear, not to go in real depth about it, but they do exist. It's ideas and techniques that can easily defeat an army. But we're not, if we ever use the full force. Israel kind of is using that, but I won't really go in full depth on that. But the biggest thing I would say that people need to look at is a solution. And that's what leadership should be looking at, a final solution, not a Band-Aid. And what's been happening in Israel and Gaza is a Band-Aid. The West Bank is a problem as well, but the Gaza is more of a sure. Eventually it's going to Gaza, because everybody can see that if you look at a map of Israel and how the strip and how it is growing, just watch documentaries on how it's gone from just the beginning and how it is now. You can see that they're going to continue to expand. That basically they own it. There was a war, Israel won, take the whole land and finish it. And basically the people of Palestine, they basically are prisoners of war, and they just need to be sent to other countries, put up the money, do it. It's cheaper. We spend billions and billions every year when it'll be cheaper to relocate people. But of course, some people just want war. Some people want control. And it's a lot of use of keeping it going, because a lot of people are profiting. Like off this situation, I'm sure that Israel will increase their security, which means whoever gets that security contract is going to make a lot of money. Because whatever the prices is, they're going to up it because the government's paying for it. That's the biggest thing you have to look at. It's a lot of money made. The day these attacks happened, defense contractors were smiling. If you owned, their stock went up, everything, people made money. And that's the biggest thing, is money. I would say also it's something that needs to end, a lot of, as well as other wars. One crazy thing I don't like why militaries are currently doing that. We're reporting what we're doing. They're reporting that they're going in, and when they're going in, I don't think that should be happening. But that's just my take on it. I would say follow documentaries. Look on YouTube for documentaries. Watch several different ones. Don't just watch one based off. Watch one based off the Israel, the way they see it, and then watch one of the Palestinians, the way they see it, and then watch one from just people from outside all over the world that made documentaries. Thank you.
So the number is becoming relative at the end of the day. And for having these hostages or these prisoners killed during the battle is not going to affect a lot the
As you can see, like,
Americans
people are
and all the
suffering
other
on both
nationals
sides.
and nationalities.
Palestinians have hostage, Jews have Palestine, and who is suffering are those people. Other people are going to get rich off this. That's why they keep showing this. And hold up, let me stop this. They love this. They love, like, it's sad what happened to this woman, how she's being taken away. But if you're on the pro-Israel side, you love this so you can push your agenda. Sadly, she had to die, but people are going to make money off this. People are looking to see how they can profit off this imagery. You're going to see a lot of imagery and a lot of people saying the different things. Propaganda will be pushed, like they're pushing the propaganda that they cut off 40 babies' heads. It kind of goes back to the Iraq war when they said they were throwing babies out of incubators. I doubt that happened. Maybe 1 or 2 died, but it's good to go. Not that aside when anybody died, but I would say, yeah, it does need to be looked at. And long story short, leadership and a solution needs to happen. This is a great example of very poor leadership. Just get it done. Get it done. Find a solution and go for it.